Hi everyone, are you ready for an epic journey to the Baltics? I rented a motorcycle in Lithuania and rode it through Latvia, Estonia, and all the way up to Finland. I rented it from a shop called the Bike Shop in Vilnius, which is a great little city right in Lithuania. They're really cool people. They had great bikes, very flexible. The owners just started out a couple years ago, and I wanted to shoot a little commercial for them to tell everyone, you gotta go to Lithuania and rent a bike from these guys. They're really inexpensive and they're really helpful. They helped me plan a whole route all through the Baltics, and I had a wonderful time. Their shop was completely equipped with all the gear and anything you might need. You want to help some young business guys just starting out? This is the place to rent a bike. So most of you know I never really was into street bike riding at all. Motocross and off-road, yes, but now I got into motorcycle riding on the street, and the reason why is because it allows you to see and experience countries in a way you could never do on a regular tour or just stopping in a major city. When you're on a motorcycle, you're driving to the countryside, you meet people, you stop at locals, towns, villages, stores, restaurants, hotels, and you really get the flavor of a country. And this is what I really love about it. So I traveled up through Lithuania and up into Latvia the whole time, stopping in little villages, towns, major cities, walking through the old towns, experiencing the weather, getting some thunderstorms, getting rained on. It was just really an epic journey. Beautiful farmland, beautiful little towns and villages. And of course, this was all part of the Soviet Union not that long ago. So it was a great experience to see how these countries are emerging and becoming free market societies and free market worlds. And then I actually went all the way up into Finland, which is incredible. I caught a ferry across to Finland after I got to Tallinn, which is Estonia's capital. And I walked around there and walked around the village and town and ate and just had a great time. And every day I drove about 6 to 8 hours right around there, but I stopped a lot, then got on the ferry over to then about a 2.5 hour ferry ride over to Helsinki. I landed there just as the sun was going down. I drove around the town there, saw the wooden church, very famous, and some of the other great sights. Found a little apartment with Airbnb and checked into a little place that was typical of where the Finnish people would live in Helsinki. And the cool thing is they just had the summit here just 2 weeks earlier with Trump and Putin. Then I drove out to the countryside in the morning to kind of feel what it was like out in the countryside of Helsinki and Finland. It was wonderful. Then back into town, across the ferry, checked back into town, stopped at my favorite stop, which is a Circle K, lots of healthy food. Great snacks all the time. I ate really healthy the whole time. My favorite thing's carrot and hummus. And then this hotel I checked into had a little place for kids to stand on. It was really cool. And then all of a sudden I got a traffic jam. An M8 helicopter landed on the side of the road. There's always something exciting when you're out in the bush, if you will. And then down the road looking for the proverbial no center line. I love finding roads where there was no center line and you're just driving along and just enjoying the countryside, weaving around in and out. I used an app called Scenic, which was excellent for finding these routes. And I just wandered and wandered and wandered and had a great time. If you notice, the weather was fantastic most of the time. And the reason why is because I planned this trip at the last minute based on the weather. So everywhere I went, I was getting basically a really good suntan and enjoying nice weather. I came across this old Soviet military base, which was incredible, all these huge bunkers, and it was an abandoned airport, and then wandered through more villages and just seeing more beautiful sights. And I ended up back in Vilnius for the afternoon before I turned my bike in. And man, did I have a great time. So if you ever want a great trip, plan it around the weather and go to the Baltics and rent from the Bike Shop.